Okay, so let's start. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just create a simple box in my scene. So I'm gonna click Alt plus W here, Control right click, and create a box. It doesn't matter any size or anything. All what we want is just something that we wanna deform. I'm gonna click F4 here. I'm gonna add some subdivision to my geometry. So I'm gonna increase my length segment, increase the width, and I'm gonna increase the height. Okay, so that's what we got. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a duplicate of this one here. So I'm gonna name this one box particles, because we're gonna use that for the particles. I'm gonna click Control plus V to make a copy, and for this one is gonna be box deform. Okay, I'm gonna hide this one right now. I'm gonna leave just the box particle. Now I'm gonna click before I start working with the particle flow, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just click Alt plus B to change my background color to black. Click G to hide my grid, and I'm gonna hide all the extra menus that I don't need by pressing Control plus X. Okay, I'm gonna click 6, and I'm gonna split my screen. Okay, I'm gonna even hide this menu right now, so I'm gonna just click here, hide menu bar. Alright, now I'm gonna right click, new particle system. I'm gonna create M particle flow. Okay, I'm gonna go to the front viewport. I'm gonna disable the realistic. I'm gonna just put it as shaded. I'm gonna change the color here to something that I could see better. Okay, I'm gonna go to the birth grid, which is this one here, and I'm gonna click W, and I'm gonna bring it down all the way down. Let's say right here. Okay, now I'm gonna lower the size of my cubes with my shapes. I'm gonna lower the size. It's actually done shape here. Lower the size all the way down. Maybe something like that. Okay. Go to the birth grid. I'm gonna increase the height. Okay. And I'm gonna lower the spacing. Let's try 5 here. I'm gonna select my grid again. I click W. I'm gonna go to the top viewport here. Let's see right now that I have boxes. They are very close to my cube, so that's should be good enough. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to birth grid cube. I'm gonna click restrict my mesh volume, and I'm gonna select my box here. Okay, as you can see, we need more grid size, so I'm gonna uncheck the restrict my mesh here. I'm gonna lower the grid maybe to 4. I think maybe 3. 3 is too much. I think a 4 is fine. Okay, and we could increase the shape a little bit. Okay, that's good enough. Birth grid. Then the goal is to try to make as many cubes inside of our cube here. I'm gonna click restrict by mesh volume. As you can see, now we have all our cubes inside our geometry. Okay, I'm gonna unhide everything now. Unhide all. I'm gonna select them all right here, and I'm just gonna move them up. Okay, and I'm gonna rotate them this way. Okay, now I'm gonna click F3. Okay, for some reason it's not working, so I'm gonna just change it to shaded. I'm gonna click H. I'm gonna select my both boxes, and I'm gonna hide them. I'm gonna hide this grid too, and I'm gonna hide this one. So now if I play, that's what we get. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the first frame. I think our gravity, need to change our gravity, so I'm gonna go to the MP world. Instead of 9.80, I'm gonna change it to 980. The reason why it's because of my system units. I think I have the meters. So if I just bring back my menu here, go to customize, unit setup, system unit setup. As you can see, I have 1 unit equal to 1 meter. That's why you need if you have the meters, so you need to change your gravity to 980. If it's centimeters, that should work fine. So I'm gonna just close it. Now if I play, that's what we get. Okay, so that's kind of the right behavior. Now what we need to do, we need to put all those try to keep the shape of our geometry all using the glue test. So when it deforms, we'll try to keep its shape. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna right click, append operators, actually test, and I'm gonna add it on MP glue. I'm gonna put it under the MP world here. Okay, what's the size of our boxes here? It's 3, and here it's set to 5. That should be enough. So if I click visualize binding and just go 1 frame up and 1 frame down, I'm gonna set it to rigid. Play. Well, I guess 3 is not enough, so let's change it to go back to the first frame. I click F3. Actually, I'm gonna set display as dots, so I could see if I have my glue connection. I'm gonna change the color here to, let's change it to yellow. Okay, let's increase this one here to 10, 20, still nothing, 30. Let's try to play and see what we're gonna get. Yeah, we do have them, but for some reason I don't see them. So I'm gonna set this one back to 10. I think maybe because I don't see them, because I have the grid for some reason. So I'm gonna unhide by name. I'm gonna unhide that bird grid. Okay, so if I play now, yeah, for some reason I don't see my binding. So I'm gonna set it back to 3. Go back to the first frame and play and see if they are binding. As you can see, they are not binding here. I'm gonna set it to 5. Yep, on 5 they are binding. Okay. So what we're gonna do now, right now, as you can see, we have kind of jelly motion right here once they hit the floor. And you could even set that to continuous to keep updating. But that's not gonna do, that's not gonna keep. I'm gonna set this one here back to geometry. That's not gonna change. We have a little bit of deformation here, but it's kind of wobbly deformation. We don't want that. First thing what you need to try, we need to make sure to keep our shape. To do that, I'm gonna select my MP world. I'm gonna go to the advanced parameters here, and I'm gonna increase the subframe factor here to 8. and this should try to hold our frame, as you can see here. That's kind of better. It's still kind of wobbly a little bit. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to the shape. Actually, not the shape. I'm gonna go back to my glue, and I'm gonna increase the max bind by distance here. I'm gonna increase it to 8. If I play, actually we are already getting some deformation right here. Okay. If you want like more deformation, what you could do, first thing, let's increase the subframe, because I don't want that wobbliness, because there is still more wobbliness in it. So let's increase it to 10, maybe 15. Okay, play. Okay, now with the first frame, what I'm gonna increase its static friction. I'm gonna set it to 5, and dynamic friction, I'm gonna set it to 5. And here I'm gonna the energy, I'm gonna set it to 0.001, and the bounciness, I'm gonna set it to 0.012. Let's see if that's gonna help keeping our geometry stable. As you can see, it does lose its energy quicker now, and it doesn't keep bouncing. And at the same time, we have some little bit of deformation here. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the first frame. So now, if you want a lot of deformation in your scene, what you're gonna do, you need to play with the shape here, the MP shape. So basically, what you need to do, you need to increase the tolerance here. So basically, you're gonna allow this cubes to intersect with each other. So let's set the tolerance here to 3, and play and see what you're gonna get. Okay. That's not giving it a lot. Let's see, the MP glue here is set to 5. So let's set the tolerance here under the MP shape here to 5 too. And see if that's gonna help. I just made it go crazy, so I'm gonna go back to the first frame. Actually, I'm gonna leave it back at 3. And to do what we're gonna do now, we're gonna try to find the sweet spot where we can make those connections loose for a little bit, and after that we're gonna harden them back up. To do that, we're gonna use the breakability here, break by force, and don't be afraid to put in very high numbers here. Okay, so I'm gonna set this one here to 20,000. Okay, and 20,000. At the same time, I'm gonna set the max bind distance. I'm gonna set it to, I'm gonna leave it at 10, and continuous adjustment too. Okay, now let's play. And as you can see, we did get a little bit more deformation with that. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the first frame. I'm gonna lower my max force to 3,000, and this one here to 3,002, and play. And now we are talking right now. Now we are getting a lot of deformation here, as you can see. Nice. One thing that I want to show you though, so if I go to the front viewport, as you can see, if I show the grid, actually my geometry is under the grid. Okay, and that has to do because we increased the MP shape, we increased the tolerance here, the shape interpretation here. So I'm gonna just stop the animation. I'm gonna let's try to lower it and see if we're gonna get the same effect. So I'm gonna set it to 0.001 again, and if we play, okay, nice. Actually, we are still getting that same effect right here, a good deformation. Nice. Okay. Now what you could do, let's say this is the animation that you like. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna unhide by name. I'm gonna unhide the box deform, and for the display here I'm gonna set it to none actually. Okay, I'm gonna select my box deform. I'm gonna apply particle skinner on top of it. Where is the particle skinner? There it is. I'm gonna click add, click H. I'm gonna select my PF source. I'm gonna pick it, and I'm not gonna do anything else. I'm gonna just click activate skinning and play. And as you can see now, we are getting deformation on our geometry using the particles. Now what you could do, you could just point cache the animation in your proxy geometry, and after that use the geometry to derive any other geometry that you want for you want it to be deformed. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the first frame. If you want more deformation, or what you're gonna do is just gonna go to the MP glue here. We're gonna lower our max force here to 2000 and here to 2000. You might be careful though, because it might break the geometry if the connections get too loose. Okay, it's still working fine. Go back to the first frame. Actually, we could lower this one even to 1000. Play. Yeah, this is with a lot of geometry that did a lot of connection that have been broken. So if we go back to the first frame and play, we're gonna get this kind of effect here. Okay, and let's say after you like the anime, because if I keep playing, it's gonna keep dragging this way. Okay, we don't want that. So first thing, I'm gonna just increase this one here back. I'm gonna go back to the first frame. I'm gonna set this one here to 1500. Play again. Okay, that's a good animation. Let's play it again. So let's say by frame 36 I want it to stop. All what I gotta do is just append operators or tests, age test at frame 36. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just stop the movement. As you can see, it's a little bit lagging because I'm changing the value while at the same time the particle are being updated. So I'm gonna just wait for it for a second. It's still updating. As you can see, it seems like I went all the way over 36 since I kept just clicking. Hopefully it will stop right now. Okay, it stopped. Let's go back to first frame. I'm gonna set the test value here to 36. I'm gonna just grab stop node and connect it over here. I'm gonna set this one here to absolute time. If you play, that's what we get. I'm gonna just turn off the activate skin and turn it back on again, so it's gonna take that event in account. Go to the first frame, remove, let's add it again, click H, pick, activate skinning, and I'm gonna set display here to none. If I play, that's what we get. Maybe we're gonna set this one here to 40. And as you can see, now we are getting nice deformation in our geometry here. And that's how you apply deformation using particle flow inside 3ds Max. So this is the first part in the the car tutorial, the car explosion tutorial, which is the first thing we're gonna do. We're gonna just make it fly up in the air and just fall down and bend like this. So I want you to go ahead and just try to harness your skill with this method and try it in some geometry. And again, as I said, like you're gonna use this geometry, you're gonna point cache it, and after that you're gonna use it to derive the deformation of other geometry. And I'm gonna show you how to do that in the next week on Sunday. But until then, I want you to go ahead and try to harness your skills with this method, and try to do as many simulation. And it doesn't have to be just metal like this, it could be plastic or anything, and see what you come up with. And see you guys in the next week. Thank you.